So guys, part 2 of this, thoughts and discussions, and I shall continue where I left off, basically, with the discussion on Massa. Yeah, as I said in the previous video, I do think he was, didn't think he deserved to be at Ferrari next year. I changed my opinions on that after his race performances in this year. He thoroughly deserves it. As I said as well, Alonso said that he was close to winning the championship a few years ago. Doesn't understand why people have been giving him such a hard time, which is a fair point. I mean, when I looked at it like that, I was thinking, yeah, that's a bloody good point. You know, if it wasn't for Glock going slow in Brazil, Massa would have been a world champion and not Hamilton. So, you know, it's very weird how things evolve like that. I hope he does well next year. I know he's only been given a 1-year contract, and Hulkenberg's been given a 1-year contract at Sauber, so it kind of looks like that's what Ferrari are going to go for. You know, they're going to give him another year, give Hulkenberg a year in a different car, that, like, you know, as an undergrowth to Ferrari. If Massa performs well next year, though, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because Hulkenberg has made a sideways move, and if Massa performs well, are Ferrari going to want to get rid of him for someone that is unproven in a top-tier team? It will be interesting to see. I hope he does do well, but we'll find out next year how that happens. Thinking of something I would like to mention. If any of you lot who are watching this video have never done Fantasy Formula 1, do it. I've done it this year with my 2 brothers and my dad for the first time ever. It adds so much more excitement to the sport, especially when you're doing it with people you know. We've had countless amounts of, not arguments, but, you know, like friendly banter and, you know, good laughs because of the Fantasy Formula 1 this year. It's been absolutely so good. We all picked 4 drivers, and, you know, we get points for qualifying, finishing, blah blah blah, as you would, and it just adds an extra dimension to the sport. Like in Abu Dhabi, it was unbelievable. My dad had 3 of his drivers take each other out in one corner, and we were just sat there laughing our asses off. Just so much more fun. And honestly, if you have family that like the sport, or a bunch of close friends that like the sport, get on it next year. Try and do it. Set up your own. That's what I've done. I've not gone online. Just do your own. One of you score it, and it's so much fun. Anyway, thought I'd mention that. So, but yeah, quickly back to the race commentary, I suppose, for a minute. I'm still in 2nd place, getting a damn sight closer to Schumacher now than I was. I've only got 6 laps to go. Maldonado is still in 3rd, although he's been caught by Raikkonen, who is now only 400ths of a second behind him. Will Raikkonen overtake him? We shall see. As I've set the fastest lap on the previous lap. Don't want to stay away from the commentary too long on the race, but sorry, yeah. I thought Raikkonen had overtaken Maldonado then. My bad. Oh no, he has. Yeah, I thought he had. He's now in 3rd, and we shall see if he hunts me down as I go dreadfully wide. It's a couple times I've done that already this race. I know the race isn't the best, guys. I tried to do my best, but I'm not an awesome driver at this game by any means, and I just needed something to talk about, something to, you don't even have to watch it if you don't want to, just, you know, have it in another tab or something, and listen to me blabber on like a moron. Anyway, away from that, Lotus this year, they've done very well. As I said earlier, they've pretty much guaranteed that Grosjean and Kimi are going to be their drivers next year, which I'm very happy about. Like I said, I think Grosjean, if he gets the incidents out of his system, I think he's got the potential to win win multiple races in a season. If that car can have that little tiny piece more of performance that they need, it'll be challenging for top race wins. So with Kimi. I mean, Kimi's already won them this year. He could have won a few more, but that car performance has just not been there at the key moments. Hopefully they'll do well. Like Lotus have become, honestly, they've become my favourite constructor this year. I don't know why. I've taken a real liking to them. McLaren have been my favourite, but I wouldn't say I've ever had a favourite constructor like that. I've obviously followed McLaren because they're British, and sorry, and Jensen's my favourite driver, so kind of the linkage there. But Lotus this year just overtaken them. I thoroughly like Lotus. I like the car as well, especially on the game for this year. It's such a nice car to handle. Mercedes have been an absolute huge disappointment after such a strong, promising start. You know, they did well in Australia. Malaysia was a bit meh because of the rain, but China, they won the race and they had such great speed there. You thought, wow, it's a benchmark for them to do well, win more races. You know, especially Rosberg, who's had a very promising career, but Never really took off like that. Yeah, it's been a huge disappointment. I feel sorry for Schumacher in a way, because he's been. They say he's leaving. It's his time to retire, but I don't think he is. I think he's been pushed out that door because of Hamilton. I do feel sorry for him. Not that I think he could do much more. You know, he's getting older now. That car, as I said, isn't there. Great. It will be in 2014 when the new rule changes come in. But Schumacher won't be around then anyway. He'll have retired. Sorry. Oh, I'm not feeling that great at the moment. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see next year when Rosberg and Hamilton are teammates. It's going to be very fun to watch. I think Hamilton will outperform him. I do. You know, I do think that Hamilton is a bit overrated, to be honest. I think everybody bangs on about him being such a good driver, but you know, we'll see how he gets on that Mercedes. And prove his point. Who's next? I'll talk about the back markers from HRT. HRT are looking like they're not even going to be in the sport next year. Finally, it sounds harsh, but they are just pointless. There's no need for them to be at the back. No need for them to be in F1. They finished nearly every race at the back of the grid. They qualified at the back of the grid. De La Rosa's been in the McLaren before. He's a decent driver, but he's in a crap car. The car, and in my opinion, is just dreadful. Why is he still in the sport? I don't know. Yeah, they're just. Hopefully, they won't be in the sport next year. They've had a dreadful season, as you would expect. Bottom. They're not going to get any more funding. Marussia and Caterham have had a very interesting fight this year. Caterham were expected to leapfrog a couple teams in the constructors this year, higher up the grid, score more, like not more points, but you know, score some points and do well this year. But that hasn't happened at all. They got overtaken by Marussia in Singapore because they finished higher than Caterham finished this year. I'm pretty sure Caterham have overtaken them back, but it was a scary moment. Marussia would have had a lot more funding next year. As oh no, I've lost the car. No way. I went down Schumacher too aggressively, and Raikkonen has overtaken me, and I'm going to have Vettel up my bum shortly. Unbelievable. Looks like a race win is out of the question now. But yeah, Marussia and Caterham had a very interesting fight this year. It's been good to watch from a neutral point of view as who's going to get the extra funding. Williams have had a bit of a weird season. For God's sake. Williams have done well. Obviously, they won the race from Maldonado, and but up until I think it was like, what was it? It was like Japan or something, or Korea. Maldonado hadn't scored a single point since that race win, and Senna had. It was weird, and everybody was talking about Senna being the worst driver. Just don't understand the justification to that. I do think they outperformed themselves in Spain. You know, I think their other race results would reflect that. Their car's been good. It's been better than last year. It was dreadful. It wasn't very good at all. You know, they finished fourth bottom in the constructors table. It wasn't very good at all. So yeah, their season's improved. It'll be interesting to see how they go next year. Could they improve even more? Toro Rosso have had a completely shambolic season. Everybody thought they were going to do well as well. You know, jump right into the mid-table, challenging with the Saubers and the Force Indias. And I go wide, and Vettel closes the gap on me. That hasn't happened. I personally think that has a lot to do with the fact that they got rid of Buemi and Alguersuari, which I think was a mistake. They can't keep chopping and changing. They're younger drivers. Younger drivers need time to embed themselves in the sport, and that hasn't happened. Hopefully they'll stick with Ricciardo and Verne. Give them some time. If they keep chopping and changing, they ain't going nowhere in the constructors. They'll just keep falling backwards. I do think I've covered all the teams. As I said earlier, it's been an absolutely amazing season this year. I hope next year is as good. I don't think it will be. I also hope Alonso wins this weekend, and Vettel finishes fifth, because I want Alonso to win that title so bad. As Vettel is coming storming up the backside of me as I hold the position on the driving line. Yeah, it's been good. It's been very, very good. As I say, really, I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to. I suppose I'll just finish up with commentating on the race as I come around this sector. I love this track on this game. I love this track in general. It's a great, great track. It's a very historic track, and I'm glad it's never been cancelled from the calendar at all. That would suck. It's a very good season finisher as well. You know, you've got Australia, which in my opinion has always been the season opener. Brazil's season finisher. It's not always been that way, but to me, it's the way it should be. It's the best way for it to be. as I come around the penultimate corner here, going into my final lap. Will Vettel catch me? Obviously, Raikkonen is not. Well, he's too far ahead for me to catch him. 3.5 seconds, not going to happen on a lap when I've got no fuel left to burn on my higher mix. As I cross the line, doing a 1:15.5, a tenth, well, that's 100th of a second off of my fastest time. As Rosberg actually set the fastest lap, I believe, a couple laps ago, which I was very annoyed about. I was like, how dare you, that was mine. I don't know what is a good race lap time round here. I'm not amazing, as I said at the start of the commentary, or midway through the commentary, whenever it was. I'm not amazing at this, so I'm never going to post best lap times or anything like that. I like to get fastest lap in the race though, especially against AI. But we shall see. I don't think I'm going to do it on this lap. I had a green first sector, I believe. As I go, well, do that one quite well. That's a nice corner. Vettel is still right up my gearbox, which is really annoying. It's hear a bit of a slide coming out of that corner. Is that a back marker in front? As I go bloody wide again, almost spin the car. Hamilton's on the fastest lap. Cheeky bugger. Where is Hamilton? If he's setting that fastest lap now, he must be like near the back of the grid. What the hell? Put on my corner, as I do believe I'm going to maintain the third place from Vettel. If this happens in the race, then Vettel will win the title, unfortunately. Let's hope that isn't the case. Anyway, guys, that is the commentary. Sorry the race wasn't as exciting as it could have been. Hopefully my commentary wasn't too bad. Hopefully you had a good listen. Love for you to post some of your own thoughts and opinions in the comments, like who's your favourite driver, who you think the best driver of the season is. Favourite race. My favourite race was Abu Dhabi by a mile. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, just leave a comment, guys. Give a like if you fancy. And I shall see you guys later. Thank you very much for listening.